Hey, what's up y'all? Welcome back to Cherry Hill Farm. This year on our crop of tomatoes, we are doing a trial on potassium nitrate. So you've got your standard ultrasol staple that they've had for years, and then their new product is called ultrasoline. And the way it was explained to me is iodine is one of those rare nutrients that we all need and plants need it as well, but it's not readily available in nature. It's the reason they put it in our salt, because we'd all be walking around iodine deficient if they didn't. So this formulation of Ultrasol by SQM has got iodine in it, and we are doing a trial on tomatoes, and we're going to determine which one wins out. So the way I decided to split it up is I was going to do one section on, one section off, but I've got an odd number of sections, so it wasn't going to work out right. So I just went through and we cut off every other row, and we've got them all marked. And we're doing a rate of 50 pounds to the acre per week. So that gives you a pound of nitrogen per day, which is usually what we shoot for. Most crops need about a pound of nitrogen a day. The nitrogen that we put out ahead of time, it's there, and it's part of the crop uptake, but it's not as available as the nitrogen and the potassium that you're going to give a crop in liquid form by running it through the drip. Big shout out to SQM and my sales rep for hooking me up with product to run this trial. So I've got some pictures that I've been taking. This is week 2, and if I can get them to load into this video properly, I'm going to show you the pictures as we progress. These crops, I've got several different varieties of tomatoes out here. They've all been treated exactly the same from seed all the way to where they are now, except for every other row has received ultrasoline versus regular potassium nitrate. So we'll follow this all the way through to the end, and we'll all learn something together. This is what our tomato crop is looking like. You can see we're setting some fruit, or well, we've got plenty of fruit set. The first hand on all the plants is sizing up, and the second hand is set. We're moving on up the plant now. So this is what we've got so far. We're getting pretty close here to starting to pick, but whenever I start setting fruit, that's when I start really pushing the potassium nitrate, because that's what's going to size up and make good quality fruit no matter what crop you're talking about. We've got our peppers in this same field, and I'm doing the same trial on them. It's not going to be quite as easy in the peppers because there's so many different varieties. We got little sections. We don't grow a ton of peppers. This is all we do. We got about I guess about 800 foot of row of peppers here, double rowed, and I killed part of them with some overspray, and we had to replant, so some of them are a little small. But anyway, so I've got green dot rows that are standard potassium nitrate. You can see right here. And then I have got purple dot rows like this one. So I've got a lot of different varieties, even of the red rounds here. Like you see, here's a row of Patsy, here's a row of Patsy, Rambler, Rambler, Red Bounty, Red Bounty, Red Morning, Red Morning. So it should give us a pretty good picture of what the difference is going to be between the ultrasoline and standard ultrasol. Well, that's inconvenient. making a stupid YouTube video and had both hands, then I wouldn't be soaking wet right now. Y'all are welcome. I love having a flow meter on my fertilizer injector so that I can tell exactly what I'm doing. I found for me with my setup, running about 20 gallons to the hour seems to do a really good job just for the average size field that I'm working with, and just the whole setup. 20 gallons to the hour seems to be pretty good. My ear's full of water now. Y'all, this sweet corn is rocking and rolling. Now, I've had a lot of people that were just blown away by us growing sweet corn on plastic mulch, but we are here the first week of June. Now, if that don't tell you something right there, if I'd planted this on bare ground, it would be half the size it is. This is just the speed. I mean, it just really kicks it in gear. And look at this okra. Yeah, we got a pitiful stand of okra. I think I've talked about that in other videos, where it was dry and it was wet, and then it ended up messing up kind of the whole field. But okra is rocking and rolling, and I am really stoked about this crop of green beans. I was a little down on them earlier because they wasn't doing all that hot. But man, oh man, we've got, I think, 2 applications of potassium nitrate done on these things. And I'll throw some pictures up in here that I've taken of them if I can remember it when I'm putting this video together. But I hate to keep harping on potassium nitrate. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was. SQM provided the product for this trial I'm doing, but they're not sponsoring me yet. Maybe we'll get there. But this, we went from half runners, like not even touching the bottom string, in 2 weeks time, 2 weeks potassium nitrate applications, we got half runners to the top of the stick, and I guarantee you next week you won't be able to see no strings anymore. We've got, these are pink-eyed purple hulls peas, and that is horse nettle. But they are fixing to start blooming. They're always a little bit later. This is Jackson. This is a Jackson snap bean. It's meant to be a machine harvest bean, so it's going to completely load the plant all at one time, and then it's not going to do anything else. But hopefully it's going to be a good yielder for us. If it'll yield more than strike, which is what we've been growing in the past, we may just plain and simple switch over to it, because it's all about the yield and making money. Over here is strike green beans, and we're probably going to be picking some strike next week. Pretty excited about that. I know everybody else will be too. Look at them beans there. They're ready. Fixing to give them another shot of potassium nitrate right now with the other pump. And these are October beans, looking real good, other than where the wind, if the wind had quit blowing, we got a fantastic crop of beans. The worst thing in the world is for the wind to start blowing hard, because then you end up with all this. But anyway, just wanted to give y'all a real quick crop update. Sorry, I'm like a beagle that sees a rabbit. I know we were talking about a potassium nitrate trial on tomatoes, but we're getting back over there right now. Alright, so I always like to double check, particularly when I'm running fertilizer or chemicals or anything, that everything's the way it's supposed to be and ain't no lines blowed off, because that's a lot of money to lose. So I want to make sure all the purple rows are on and all the green rows are off. They should be. And I also want to make sure I ain't got a line blowed off anywhere. I put a purple stripe on my flex net hose just to kind of, oh, we got a significant leak right here. I'm kind of on the fence on this flex net netafim stuff. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with it, but I'm kind of leaning more towards it just because of the longevity. I've had this flex net for years and years. It's been some of the longest lasting manifold that I've ever used. The black oval hose works pretty good, but it's not as user friendly as the flex net. Let's go down here and make sure don't have any end caps blown off at the end of the field or anything silly like that going on. We got good pressure. That's great. I've switched over. I had some pressure regulators that I used to use back in the day when I had my big electric pump over at the other farm that I used to rent. For some reason, I don't really know why I got away from using them, but I've just started using those again. I've been using gate valves. Don't really know why I started doing that, but I'm really happy with my decision. Ooh, oh, that's a row that's turned off. So, I don't know, it's a toss-up right now. I mean, obviously we haven't got to the part of counting and weighing tomatoes, and we're only at application number 2. So I think where the rubber's going to meet the road on this deal is when we start picking tomatoes. And what I'm thinking right now is that I'm going to get some surveying tape and I'm going to block off a row of regular potassium nitrate and a row of ultrasaline of the same variety, like 3 or 4 different places across the field, and tell the guys not to pick those. And I'm gonna pick all those test blocks myself and weigh the fruit. That way I can keep a good log of what's going on. But it looks like we're gonna have a pretty good crop of tomatoes. Look at this, I don't know, it actually might be too many to be a good thing, but look at the first hand on this Cherokee purple plant right here. That's pretty ridiculous. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tomatoes on that one hand. Same deal here. That's kind of ridiculous. Probably be better off if it wasn't quite so many. But we're starting to size up some fruit pretty nice. That's gonna be ugly as sin. I think that's a German Johnson right there. But it's big. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought since this awesome Hero 12 cut itself off because it was too hot. But I think I pretty well covered everything as far as what we're doing with this trial. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments, and if you've got any suggestions on a camera that might not be such a pansy, drop that in the comments. It's got to be tough. This needs to take some abuse and be able to be thrown around and dropped and still survive. But this GoPro's kind of ticking me off lately, because after 10 minutes out in the blazing sun, it shuts itself off because it's too hot. If I shut down after spending 10 minutes out in the sun, I'd never get anything done. So I need a camera that'll live out in the hot sun all day with me. If you got any suggestions, drop them in the comments for me. I'd appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'm gonna carry this trial on through. I'll do some updates on it so y'all can see the progress and we can all learn together. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all next time.